Hi there, Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk, and I'm here today with what looks like a mess. It is one of the challenge this week, the Wednesday challenge over on Stampin for All, is using scraps, and we all have them. Some people, don't know how they do it, chuck them away, but why would you chuck that away? That's 1 inch by 6. That's a handle on a bag, isn't it? That's something that you would mat a sentiment onto. You know, why would you chuck it away? Anyway, if you're like me, you end up with like a whole pile of them, and like you die cut something and you don't need that one. Well, why would you chuck it away? You just keep it in your little scrap pack. So I am going to do something with this. I've been meaning to do it for ages, so it's brilliant that we've got the challenge. So what I thought was I'd turn it in to a nice piece of cardstock. So I just thought I would randomly place these strips and make a bit of a collage. That was my thoughts. Stick them on and see what happens. Have them overlapping, and what I wanted to do was not have any space underneath. So I might stick that under like so, and I'm just going to go along and fill the gaps. Double-sided, that one I don't think it's going to work too well. Needed it right angles, don't I? And just build up a pattern, and then I'm going to have myself a piece of cardstock that I'm then going to create something out of. Not quite sure what yet. But that's quite fun, isn't it? So I will carry on and do this, and then I'm going to stick it down with some Tombow, and then we will create something out of it. Okay, so that's my thoughts. Stay tuned and we'll see where it goes. So one of the things I thought I'd do when it came to sticking down was that I'd put the glue on the paper rather than on the cardstock rather than on the paper. So I just thought I'd put a bit of Tombow . So that's that stuck on, and then just move that up there a little bit. Spread it around. Ooh. I'm going to stick that on, and then I can butt it up, stick it down, and then of course I will trim around, and then I'll get some little scraps from that as well. So that is how I'm going to stick it down. I'm going to put some glue on this and build it that way. Because that enables you to butt it up . Can you tell? I'm in my dressing gown. This idea came to me in a flash as I was waking up this morning, and I just thought, I've got to do it before I forget what it is I want to do. So I just came straight in my craft room. One of the beauties of now being an empty nester. I have no child in the room next door to be disturbed by me or to disturb me. The amount of times I used to walk through when I was, because it's a connecting room to his room, and I'd be filming and then he'd walk through. He'd notice I was filming and then he'd kind of go tip tip too. Bless him. But now, doesn't matter. No one here. Just me in my craft room, creating a mess. Or masterpieces, as I like to refer to them. So, that is how I'm going to continue. Okay, so I'll continue to do that, and I'll come back to you. So you can see, we're almost done. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring in my big scissors, and I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to cut off these bits that are overlapping, and then I'll have some little bits for filling in the gaps. So I'm just cutting these off. Now I haven't overlapped, but you could. I have just butted them up, straight edges to straight edges. But you could create different patterns. Think of all those scraps that you've got. What you could do. Right. So now I've got that. I've got strips now for these bits here. So that's all done. I left it a little bit to dry. You might find that because I've used Tombow, it might be a bit sticky. So I'm going to take my embossing buddy and just rub it over the top to take some of that stickiness away. It is a bit of a nursing trick. I used to be a nurse many years ago. A nurse for about 20 years. And when we used to put lots of sticky dressings on people, especially if it was around like the feet and then they were going to put the socks on, would put some talcum powder on top so that it didn't stick to their socks, so that your lovely hard work that you've done putting a beautiful dressing on didn't then just rip off when they got undressed. So that's it. So that's no longer sticky. Because what I was finding, I was picking out the card to go with it, and I was finding that it was just sticking. Well, now it's not sticking. So that's just my little tip. That's if you find you have that issue when you use a wet glue. Okay, so that's that. So now it's about how I'm going to use this. Just a little bit of glue on the top there. That'll be from when I turned it over. Might be a few little dog ends that come up, but I'm not going to stick them down just yet until I kind of cut it up for the card. Okay, so you can see it's sort of started off fairly sort of ordered, and then when we get to that end, it really is just a mismatch. Okay, so I've picked out my cardstock, so I've picked out the colours that are in it. Oh, rich raspberry, that's the other colour that's in it. I might whip that out in a minute. So I've got some sweet sugar plum, old olive, clips of coral, and then I've got pool party as well. So let's I figured I could probably make maybe 6 or 8 cards out of this. That's not bad for a bunch of scraps that some people throw away. Well, I know it's not just a bunch of scraps because I've added cardstock to it, haven't I? But you know, hey ho, and all that. So my thoughts are that I'm going to do a bit of a card map, but I'm not going to do the just a little map that I normally do. I'm going to do it slightly smaller. So the card width is 4 1/8. That's UK size. So I thought I might cut a 3-inch wide strip. We are going through a layer of cardstock and a layer of DSP and a layer of glue. Okay, so I'm going to do this directly in half. So I'm going to do this in half at 4 1/8. So that's easy maths to think about. I will put all measurements on my blog, Nigezza.co.uk, and I'm going to map this now on a piece of Whisper White. So I've got a scrap here of Whisper White. So if it was 3 inches across, I'm going to go to 3 1/4. And then I'm going to go, it was 4 1/8, so 4 3/8 to give that a mat like that. You could go a little bit smaller on that. So I've done a bit of prepping and I decided that I have these bigger scraps. So I thought, how about having those layered on the back, on the card base. I did trim this down so that it was only a small border and have that layered up on the middle. I thought that looked slightly better. So I want to do a sentiment. I thought a nice big happy birthday in there some way. And so I've got a bit of Whisper White here, and I've got my Sweet Sugar Plum, so I'm going to match the card base. Remember, if you want Sweet Sugar Plum, you need to get in quick and buy it because it's going. I will be sad to see this go. I like this colour. I will keep using it because I never get rid of them, which is why and how I have still got the Blackberry Bliss, Coastal Cabana, and Mossy Meadow, because I never got rid of them. So yeah, so if you see me using those, they won't be in the new ink pads because I've still got the old ink pad version of them. Right, so I could lose a bit of the swirl by using that one. What does it look like in the square? I get it pretty much all in the square, and the circle I get it pretty much all. So it's whether or not I want to layer a square or a circle on top of this one. I think I might go for a different shape, so we'll go for the circle, I think. So I'll cut that out and come back to you. So there, I've cut that out in a circle. So let's stick it together. Now there's a bit of me that's thinking layering those up is a little bit of a waste. So I might trim them down a little bit, and then I've got more scraps for more cards. So I'll take that down to 1.5 inches. Where's my blank? So I can get a little bit of an idea of what I want. Yeah, that'll work. Do about 1.5 inches on that one as well. There we go. Yep. And then I could just leave that one as it is across the centre. And then layer that one up. Yep, I'll do that. So let's get sticking. Fast fuse, which I will still be using because I've got it. I ain't going to be putting it away just because Stampin' Up aren't selling it anymore. That would just be daft, wouldn't it? So stick that across there. I will trim it down after. I did try to cut it so it was about the right size. There we go. And then put this one across the middle. Ooh. There's lines on this grid mat, and sometimes I forget to use them. There we go. And then I'm going to take my large scissors, turn this over and give that a trim. I got something stuck on me scissors. I think I might need to give them a clean. Right, get my alcohol wipes out. There, that one's better. I pulled it off. So that's that. And then let's just give this a little stick on the back. I'm going to use Tombow for this because I do want some wigglage, because it is just a little border around. And trim that. That must have been the end. So I didn't cut them properly. Better. So I'm going to have that on there and that on there. So just got to make a decision as to how I want it, which bit of this scrappy patch work I want sticking out. I could do it at an angle. Oh yeah, quite like that. Quite like the going at an angle. And then I might put some ribbon. I've got, this is proper using scraps up. Got a scrap of that from, not last catalogue, I think it was catalogue before. So we might cut a strip of that across. get some double-sided for that, I think. Just it gives me a bit of time. Up there. Oh, where's the end? This is why I'm probably not going to use tear and tape in my videos. There. Pull it off. Oh, do you know? Uh-huh. Now I'll take it out of my mouth, I can speak. There we go. So, have that like that. Have that on there. And I've got some of these glitter gems. I'm not sure if this is sweet sugar plum or rich raspberry. I mean, not rich raspberry, berry burst, can't remember, but those lighter ones sort of go. So I'm going to incorporate them somewhere. And now I just got to decide popping up on dimensionals or not. I think I'm going to stick that one down. I might pop the happy birthday up. There we go. I might get a little glue dot underneath the ribbon, because although I'm going to stick a sentiment over it, I think it might still benefit from having a little bit of something under there. There we go. And now we'll get some dimensionals on the back of that happy birthday. So we've had scraps of DSP, scraps of Whisper White to do the backing and the sentiment, a scrap of ribbon left over from ages ago, and then some retiring gems. Proper using up some scraps. There we go, and then let's get the gems out and where we're going to put them. I might have one there on the birthday. Let's have one up there. Let's have one down there. What do you think? Right, I shall have a little play with the others and come back and show you what I created with the other scraps. So there, I've finished putting the cards together. I made 7 in the end. So this was the first one. This was the one that you saw me make. And then I did similar to make this one. Just used a square instead of the circle. I've used the stitch framelets on all of them to make the topper, and then various different stamp sets and punches as well. So I've used the leaf punch there, and I've stamped it first to give you a tone on the leaf. So that's Happy Birthday Gorgeous, and then these two I use sentiments from our card kit. And for the leaves there, I've used Animal Outing, and I've used the leaf bit of that, missing out the frog. And I've cut the leaves this time out of the DSP, and this one I've done the same with the DSP, and I made these flowers using the Flower Shop and the matching daisy punch, and stamped it in rich raspberry and then coloured it with the blends. This one I also used the same sort of flower. I've just cut the leaves there out of Old Olive, and I've used, as well as the leaf, I've used the Thank You Big Time as well from Animal Outing. Even though I don't particularly like the animals, love the sentiments, and that leaf I knew when I saw it would look good. And then that sentiment again, with a little bit of a ribbon. This ribbon is really old. This ribbon is a celebration item, probably 3 years, maybe 4 years ago, I can't remember. So from when I first discovered Stampin' Up, and so I got about 2 packs, maybe 3, so I got loads left. So it came in a 3-pack, and so that's the Calypso Coral that I got. So there we go. So pop over to Stampin' for All and you know, have a go at the challenges. I think they're great. And this one will be there to hopefully inspire people to have a go at using their scraps. I've really not got much left, so it really is a way of not wasting. Okay, hope you enjoyed that, and all the details will be on my blog as much as I can do, because I kind of just went for it without particularly, I didn't do a diagram. This has ended up being more or less a one-sheet wonder, which is quite good because it's a bit of a buy one you get one free, because the design team challenge is a one-sheet wonder. So there we go. I've done my scrap challenge, I've done my one-sheet wonder. So yeah, I haven't got a grid for it because I just like cut really. So I'll try and do some measuring, and obviously I've done some matting. Yeah, pop over to my blog, link down below, pop over to Stampin' for All, and yeah, it's a great group. See you soon.